Before you walk away, allow me to impart something valuable. Have you ever noticed how, when you cease exerting excessive effort, circumstances begin to align effortlessly? It's as though the moment you relinquish pursuit, the very thing you desired starts gravitating towards you. Relationships are no exception. You perceive her withdrawing, growing distant, and instinctively, your response is to hold on tighter. However, paradoxically, that very action compels her to retreat further. I understand. You don't want to lose her. You believe that if you could just articulate your emotions, if you could remind her of the beautiful moments you shared, she would regain clarity. But what if your entire approach is flawed? What if the key to restoring equilibrium lies in the one thing you fear most, relinquishing control? Let's dissect the underlying dynamics and explore how you can alter the course of this situation, not through manipulation, but through a fundamental shift in your mindset. Once you master this, desperation for validation will become a relic of the past. Point one, she's not pulling away. She's reacting to you. A woman distancing herself is not the harbinger of an inevitable end. Rather, it is a response to an internal shift in attraction. Attraction is not dictated by words, but by the emotions elicited in her presence. Initially, she felt intrigue, excitement, and the exhilaration of discovering you. Over time, however, something changed. Perhaps you began prioritizing her excessively, checking in incessantly, and centering your world around her. What may seem like love to you translates to complacency for her. When something is attained effortlessly, its perceived value diminishes. The common misstep most men make, they double down, probing, seeking reassurance, and emoting excessively. The correct approach isn't pursuit, it's recalibration. Step back, not as a ploy, but as a means of restoring equilibrium. Allow her the space to feel the void of what she once cherished. Permit her the opportunity to recall why she was drawn to you in the first place. Point two, attraction lies in energy, not words. Have you ever observed a man who speaks little yet effortlessly captivates others? That's because attraction transcends verbal communication. It's an energetic exchange. Women are acutely attuned to emotional undercurrents. If your energy exudes neediness, insecurity, or desperation, she will perceive it, irrespective of what you say. You might assume that the perfect words can rectify the situation, but if your energy is misaligned, if you are anxious, over-explaining, or trying too hard, she will sense the incongruence. Attraction is fundamentally about feeling. Instead of striving to persuade her with dialogue, recalibrate your energy. Ground yourself in unwavering self-assurance. Be present, composed, and at peace with yourself. A woman is innately drawn to a man who derives confidence from within, rather than seeking external validation. The moment she discerns that you are resolute and self-sufficient, her perception of you shifts. Curiosity is reignited, interest rekindled, and attraction naturally follows. Point three, predictability erodes attraction. Consider your favorite song. The first time you hear it, it resonates deeply, evoking emotion. However, if played incessantly, its impact wanes. This principle applies to relationships as well. Attraction flourishes in the interplay between stability and unpredictability. If she can anticipate your every move, every message, and your perpetual availability, the emotional spark dims. The excitement of earning your attention dissipates because she is assured of its constancy. This does not imply that you should engage in games or feign disinterest. Instead, cease making her your sole focal point. Reflect on who you were when she was initially drawn to you. A man with ambitions, passions, and an independent existence. Reconnect with that essence. Cultivate unpredictability, not through artificial detachment, but by nurturing your own endeavors. Let her desire to be a part of your world rather than making her the center of it. Women do not lose interest due to diminished affection. They disengage when the emotional stimulus fades. Reignite the excitement, not through contrivance, but by embodying the man she was originally captivated by. Point 4. Distance, when used wisely, fosters desire. Recall the last time you deeply longed for something, a melody, a destination, or a person. You didn't yearn for it because it was omnipresent. You craved it due to its absence. This is an intrinsic facet of human psychology. We are drawn to that which is not readily accessible. The same principle applies here. If you inundate her with messages, consistently affirm your availability, and ensure she never experiences distance, she will cease to perceive your presence meaningfully. Conversely, when you step back, not as a calculated maneuver, but as an authentic expression of self-respect and emotional independence, that is when she begins to notice. That is when she starts to wonder. And once a woman starts wondering about you, her emotional landscape begins to shift in your favor. Point 5. If she doesn't return, it was never meant to endure. A truth you must embrace. Not every woman is meant to remain in your life, and that is perfectly acceptable. Those who depart create space for those who truly belong. If she withdraws and does not return, regard it not as a loss, but as an act of providence. You do not want a woman who requires pursuit to remain interested. You seek a woman who chooses you willingly, without coercion or persuasion. The most effective way to attract such a woman is by embodying the kind of man who does not chase, but naturally magnetizes. This begins with recognizing your intrinsic worth and never squandering time seeking external validation. Point 6. The fundamental paradigm shift. Ultimately, it all converges on one immutable truth. You do not need to chase, you need to evolve. The men who are disregarded and ghosted are those who tether their self-worth to whether a woman stays or departs. Conversely, the men who command unwavering respect and attraction are those who cultivate lives of substance and purpose, naturally drawing others into their orbit. Ask yourself, are you striving to reclaim her, or are you striving to reclaim yourself? When you redirect your focus towards becoming the man you were before this turmoil, before the apprehension, before the self-doubt, everything transforms. Women instinctively gravitate towards men who exude a sense of purpose and self-assurance. That is the man they cannot ignore. You cannot dictate her emotions, but you can govern your own response. The most formidable men are not those who cling desperately to connection, but those who uphold their self-respect and dignity. Attraction is not cultivated through persuasion. It is sustained by being the kind of man whose presence is valued. So, relinquish the chase. Elevate yourself. Become the man she fears losing, not because you manipulate her into staying, but because you embody a presence too compelling to disregard. When you focus on your evolution, the right people will naturally align with you. In the grand scheme of things, everything else will fall into place.